it was my first time in a big production. And so many cameras, there was so many people on set.
I remember there was a part that you were dragging yourself down. I want to understand how that scene came to life. How long did you take to act Mvera actually in the film, and how the relationship with the team was?
And my first scene, Daudi goes like, cut, Mvera sikufeel.
Hello and welcome to the We Crew podcast. We are the first and only podcast in Kenya that brings to you the world of filmmakers to your ears. We dive deep into the dynamic, ever-evolving world of the film industry. Now, the We Crew podcast is not only a podcast, it is a movement that brings together creators, dreamers, doers, and as well the storytellers. So today we have a dope actor. Her name is called Linah Sandeh. Now, most of you, when you get to Netflix, if you really are a fan of Kenyan films, that should be one of the top films. When I once got there and I saw her expression, like the photo up there, I really loved it. And that's when in September 2023, I think that's when they released it. And I got attracted to it and watched it. I have also watched it recently. I mean, it is an amazing film. Today, I want to talk to Linah so that she can tell us what it takes to be the dope actor as she did.
Kila mwaka kampuni tuipendayo sana ya Thabiti Foods inatupelekea vijana wetu wa pwani kwenda ng'ambo ili kujitafutia riziki huko.
Sielewi, kwani walichagua watu kivipi? Mimi sitaki kuishi hapa maisha yangu yote. Niolewe, niuze vikapu sokoni, nife nisahaulike.
So, yeah, before we dive in, I want to thank you all for staying tuned. I want you to like, subscribe, and keep watching our films and our videos, and let us know if it's something you would really recommend to someone or we do better. Thank you so much, and karibu sana Linah.
Asante sana.
Thank you for honoring my invite.
You're welcome.
Waze, you look dope. Yani, unajua how I see you in the film, the top, like on the screen, yeah? And how you look. I just want to know, what do you do to bring out that kind of, that look, yeah? And today we are going to talk about, what you did even behind the screen. Okay. What did it take for you to bring out that kind of expression? Okay. What did it take working with a team? Okay. Is it your first film? And all that is involved. So, karibu sana.
Asante.
I have read about you and I know you reside in Mombasa.
Yes, I do.
You're not in Nairobi.
I'm in between.
Yeah.
Yes.
You come frequently.
Yes, I come frequently.
Yeah. I would love you to take us through your personal life. Okay. And how it really came through to be shown in the film. Because when I look at the film, the idea started, it was talking about Mekatilili, right?
Yes, yes.
Mekatilili, we know her as the hero behind the Giriama.
Yes.
And when I look at that whole film, you brought out the hero in you. So I would really love you to tell us what was your personal journey and how did it really get to be shown in the film?
Okay. Where do I begin? Because it's been a crazy journey. But I first got to attend the auditions in 2020, early 2020, February. I got a text message that AR Films needed extras. I went to audition as an extra. So I got there and I found two chicks rehearsing for Mvera. And I didn't even know what was going on. You know, I was in my own world. I'm there, I'm seated, I'm looking, I'm so chilled. And then Daudi comes in. My hair was down. I had really long locks, so I had let them down. I'm just there. So he sees me and he tells the acting coach who was doing the thing there. He tells him, "Can you give her the script to try Mvera?" I'm given the script, so I do my first line, my second line, and Daudi says, "Asante sana, tosha tosha." And for me, that was too soon. I was just getting into it. I was just trying to show you what I got. And I went back home beating myself. I was like, Aish, I didn't do my best. I felt like I doubted myself.
Yeah.
I didn't believe in myself. And that was my first mistake. So I went back home and I couldn't join in the rehearsals because I also had a stage play. I had a show coming because I'm also a theater performer.
Ah, nice.
I started with the theater after high school. So I also had a show, so I couldn't come in for the rehearsals with them. And after a week, the same chick who texted me calls me and tells me, "Yo, congratulations, Daudi really loved your performance." And I'm like, "What?
Nice.
That?"
Wait. Pull up. Now, here you've arrived. You are chosen, like, were you already auditioning ama ulikuwa tu kwa line or something?
I was actually the only one there.
Okay.
So I was the only one who had come for the auditioning extras, and there were still other people there. So they were doing their thing, and I was just seated somewhere, just relaxing, because I had a hard night. So I'm there sitting, thinking about my night, my day, and I'm like, okay, what's happening, you know? And that's when I think sometimes unaambiwaga kama ni yako.
Wait, do you think Daudi chose you because of your outlook? Yeah?
Yes, it definitely is because
Yeah.
of how because I am terrible at auditions. So I believe he looked at me and he saw what he wanted, because I also saw what he saw when I was reading the script. I saw what he saw. He wanted somebody with my color, with my expression. And when I'm something about me is nikiwa katikati ya watu, there's a look I have.
Ebu show us.
I'm always my resting face is my poker face is plain. You wouldn't know what I'm thinking. I'm plain.
Ebu.
You know, try. You know, no expression, no nothing. You just
Okay.
yeah. So I get the feedback. I still don't know I've been casted. My grandma passes. Nimelelewa na my grandma some point in my life. In 2020 she passes. So I go for the burial in Oyugis. Yes. I go for the burial. So immediately after the burial, I'm being called by the producer. Like, are you in Mombasa? I'm like, no, I traveled for a burial. Like, we need you. I need to give you the script from Mvera. We need you to come.
Wow.
And I'm like, hey, grandma, mimi na wewe tumemalizana, safiri salama. I've done my deed, but I need to go.
Oh.
I need to go.
Wait, Linah, when you talk about you staying with your grandmother, tell me about the responsibilities you got. Like, if you don't mind, what are the responsibilities you got with your grandmother, so that probably that would be what shaped you to be who you are today?
A lot of things have shaped me. I come from a humble background, if I can call it that. So napata, my life hasn't been smooth. I've lived with so many people, so many different people. And the last, I started living with my grandma in 2005. And all I can say is she was a very, very phenomenal woman. She raised me, and even though I didn't know what it feels like having a mother, I didn't feel like that with her. She really, really stepped up. And all the struggles we went through so much together. My grandma and I used to even sleep hungry. Tukitoka, tukienda mashughuli, kila mtu hakuna kukula nje, because we're like, my grandma didn't eat, Linah didn't eat. such things, and I saw how she used to struggle with stuff. But even through all that, nobody ever used to know what we are going through. When we go out there, we got it. We got this. I feel like I don't really like talking much about her because I never healed. She's one person I lost, but with her loss came much. They are told when the universe wants to bless you, it empties your cup so that your cup can have space for more. So even in Mvera, you see, I had a grandma, so it was easy for me to to relate and to get into the character of me being somebody else's granddaughter and relating with my grandma in the film, because that is the same way I would have related with I was relating with my own grandma. Yeah, so I send my grandma off. I come back to Mombasa, and Corona happens. Immediately I come back, there's a lockdown.
Now, may your grandmother's soul rest in eternal peace.
Amen.
And when you're coming back to Mombasa, I'd love to understand your original home is Oyugis, right?
Okay. We are from Kisumu Karating.
Kisumu.
Yes.
And now you're in Mombasa.
Now I'm in
Could
Mombasa.
you tell us how you got yourself in Mombasa?
After I finished high school, some of my brothers, I come from a family. Right now, we are 6. I have 5 brothers and me. So my brothers live in Mombasa. And after high school, I told myself, I cannot stay huku bwana. How? Because I finished high school in Kakamega. So I told my brother, like, I need to come back to Mombasa. And we were all struggling, it's not like they were well off or anything. And I was like, I don't care. I come to Mombasa.
Yes.
I want to come back to Mombasa. And that was in 2014. So 2014, nikafunga virago zangu. My grandma wasn't so happy. But I needed to. I felt like nikika kule bara sana, a lot of my life I will not. Sitachangamka. And that is not the kind of person I am. So I come back to Mombasa, tried living with my brother for some time, but it was a bit crazy. It was hard. And tukatoboa hivyo hivyo.
Yes. Everything worked out.
Yeah, it does, but not as people would think, or smooth and all that, because even from 2014, there were some challenges I went through. I had to stop living with my brothers and go back to go live with my best friend from high school and her family. And I got introduced to theater by her sister-in-law.
Wow.
So 2014, I started theater. My journey in theater started as a storyteller.
Wow.
Yes. And then evolved into stage acting. And then, before I know it, I got a role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you do it professionally?
Well,
Theater?
Yeah. I did it professionally. When I started, I didn't know anyone. So I used to go there and chill. We had this everyday program called Talent Unplugged. That is where most of us have really, really grown, because that is where it used to host rappers, poets, spoken word artists, anything you can do. And I was like, what can I do to fit into this space? What can I do to cement my name into this place? And I decided I'm taking a storytelling approach. I don't know much, but I will do it as long as I'm relevant. And then after a couple of sessions, I landed my first stage role with Pasha Productions.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then that drove you now to keep on going for more auditions.
Yeah. Auditions nimezienda Mungu wangu.
Then you met Daudi.
Not yet.
In the audition. Bado?
Not yet.
Okay.
Fast forward, 2016, I took a break, came to Nairobi kidogo, went back to Mombasa, got my first kid in 2017. 2018, 2019, I was like, something must happen now. I can't be a stay-home mom. Something has to happen. So I see what people are doing. Like a small maternity leave, you're 2 years, 3 years. Unapata people, life has moved. So what do? I see this producer on Facebook who posts her, um, her videos on YouTube. And I'm like, wait, I can do this. I've never been in front of a camera, but I feel like I can act and I can also be on YouTube. I don't care.
Nice.
Bora nianze.
How old are you that time?
At that time,
Yes.
I was 28. Yeah, 28, 27, 28. So I text her. I text a few people. I text them, yo, I'm available. You need me. I am, and then me wanajiuza. I said, I'm disciplined. I'm this. I can do this. Even the things I can't do, but I say,
A whole CV.
yes.
I like that.
And this chick responds, and she's like, I know you. And I'm like, yeah, I've seen pictures with you and so. You can ask them. They'll give you a review about me. They know me. And she starts planning up a meetup with me. She sees me for the first time. We sit and talk. We have this conversation. So this chick is just looking at me. And then she tells me, by the way, there's a role. I've been looking for somebody to do it. I have a script from 2016. Sijapata the lead character. But nimeka hivi na wewe na kuangalia the way you are talking, and I think you'll be the perfect fit for the role. I'm like, yeah, really? Cool. Hey, team ilijam. Team yake ilijam. Mbona ni mgeni. Amekuja tu juzi. Mbona anapewa lead role. And then unaambiwaga, when people doubt you, you don't defend yourself. You let your work defend yourself. So I found myself in a position where even people are coming to me like, help me. How do I do this? I'm like, okay, we'll do this. So we shoot our film. I do my first film, my first lead role in 2019.
Good.
And I get a nomination at the Kalashas.
Nice.
Yeah. I get a nomination for Best Lead Actress in a film. I did, those things you just do, and unapeleka KFC once or films. Let's take it to low budget, but evo because it was low budget. And by God's grace and nomination, I got my first nomination. It was so nice. It was so nice. That's the first time I got to put my name in the industry, kidogo hapa na pale. I didn't win, of course, but I wasn't even mad.
Yeah, you are okay with it.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Now, what is this low budget to an actor or an actress?
Low budget. Shoot get a movie of 50.
Yeah.
You
And you, how much are you paid?
Yeah, to kulipwa, because
Unajitolea.
that one, most of the money came from, because we built a relationship with the producer. So most of the money, the big percentage of the money was from our own pocket. Everything from feeding the actors, licenses, to running because we even launched it. We didn't even get a shilling, taking it to Kalashas, and we made sure it got aired on our local channel, Raya TV. Yeah, we gave them for free.
I like that. I like the fact that, a production team, mostly if they are starting off, what do? They source for funds within themselves.
Yes.
Yes, to cater for that production, and then later on, mambo nyingine zitatokea. Yes.
Yeah.
So I want us to jump, turuke kabisa, tuende Mvera.
Yeah.
Yani najisikia tu, I just feel like calling you Mvera. Please allow me.
Even my family calls me Mvera.
Sindio? Yeah. Now tell me, this Mvera role, you've said you were not sure you're the one who's gonna win it, right? But how, again, after you've been called and being told that now you're the lead actress, you are the Mvera, how did you prepare for it?
One, I read my script. It was big. I read the first draft I was given, because there were so many drafts. I read the first draft, and I felt like I really, really related with this character. I just saw myself in her. And when Daudi called me into his office, he told me, there are things I would love you to do. I want you to be fit. I want you to do this. I would love this, this is the role. And I'm like, say no more. I got you. So I did my research on Mekatilili because it was an honor playing Mekatilili, modern Mekatilili. So I did my research because I love being sure of what I'm doing. I did my research on Mekatilili. I did my research on the Mijikenda tribe because I'm Luo. And this is me now playing another tribe, a Mijikenda. And apparently I look like Mijikenda.
Yeah.
So I used to work out because when I have a role, I work for it depending on what the character, depending on how I interpret my character. My character needed to be physically fit. What do? I start jogging. I start doing light workouts. She needed to have some bit of Giriama dialects in her conversations. This deep Swahili.
Wazazi kijijini wanataka kuona watoto wao, na sio picha, sio barua.
Hawa ni watu wabaya, wanapanga kutuua. Tutafanya nini?
Coastal Swahili.
I know.
So I really put and this, it's crazy because I started doing this 2020 and we shot in 2023.
Wow. You mean you've been consistent with working out for 3 years?
Yes. And every time I meet Daudi and I ask him, like, when are we going on set? He's like, relax, we're going very soon. So the waiting period for 3 years, a lot happened. And I believe that in those 3 years, everything that happened in those 3 years, they prepared me psychologically, emotionally for delivering Mvera, because I interpreted it as a role that had so much emotional depth, and it just needed, for me, I used the method acting approach. What if? Because there are some instances that are relatable, like me living with my grandma, those are relatable. Greener pastures, that's relatable. You know, having a man who wants you and you have focus, that's relatable. So it was easy for me to just take some of my Linah Sandeh experiences in this life and blend it.
Yeah. But then that makes sense. So, I mean, I feel like most of the roles that you're given, you have to find ways through your experiences to be able to bring it out really well.
There's that's one approach, because acting has different techniques. There are different methods. There are different techniques of acting. So, if you just have to know what works for you. If you have the if situation, if you have your own situation, you just have to find what definitely works for you. Yeah.
Tell us these other approaches that you can use.
There's method acting, of course. There is the what if, let me say, what if I'm Noella? I want to be like Noella. And then there's being Noella. Yes. And then there is trying to be in Noella's shoes, So unapata kuna mtu mwenye atapewa script, atasoma, there are people who even starve themselves if the role needs you to be thin. Mimi, if a role needs me, I don't care how ugly it needs me to be. I will be that character. I'll put Linah Sandeh aside. Linah Sandeh atakuwa tu anaombwa tu vitu mbili tatu. But I will make sure that I create a whole different persona. And yeah, it takes, nimepewa script, leo nimesign contract, I'm being that person. How I relate with people, how we'll talk. Once a while I try what works.
Yes.
Yeah.
And does this not really differ with your personal being?
It does. I recently had a project I did last year about depression. And it was a silent film. No talking, no nothing. So I had 2 weeks after signing the contract. I had 2 weeks for preparing and all that. What I did was I researched how do depressed people behave, what happens, what's their environment like. I've been depressed. Every one of us has been depressed. We've been at points where you don't want to get out of bed. You don't want to do anything. Some don't even want to shower. So what I did was, for those 2 weeks, my curtains were closed. I never met anyone, not even my best friend. my boyfriend was complaining every day, like, yo, why this? And I'm like, I'm preparing for a role.
Are you kidding?
Yes, I'm preparing for a role. My hair was the way it wanted to be. And for 2 weeks, my curtains were not open. I was just there. My house was shaggy. Yeah.
How did you come back to be the normal person?
Now, decharacterizing, something that most people haven't really known how to do. What I did after the shoot, and I confirmed I'm done with the shoot, I took time for myself. What do I do when I want to bring myself back? I listen to music. I opened my curtains, let the light in, clean, I start thinking positively. And I even told the people in my life, the close people in my life, like, I'm sorry, I won't be with you for this duration. I'm preparing for this. And I love the fact that they understand me. They understand my craziness, so they give me my space, my time. And after that, started meeting them, going out, doing the things I love, decharacterizing, having time for myself. Yeah, and I come back. Even from Mvera, I did the same. Yeah, from Mvera, I also did the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hosted Daudi Anguka some few days ago, and the way she was speaking about you, oh my God, you must watch that episode. So when Daudi was speaking, he talked about keeping you guys waiting, okay, for I think 3 years.
Yeah.
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 So while you were waiting, did you ever give up? Like, will this thing really happen? Ama, you were really sure about it. Now you have a whole pamphlet to practice, to train. Are you doing your other things? Ama, how did you balance the two as while you were waiting for the film?
While I was waiting, I waited in prayer. Because I really, really, one thing I would say is Mvera is my baby. Because I dedicated so much into it. Nile kitu yenye unakaa unasema, I saw it, like, this is it. This is an opportunity. I have to put everything I have, everything I've ever owned in this life, I'm putting it into this. I'm betting my life into this. So, of course, there are things I did, not really major things per se, because that is when I was also struggling with my life, waiting for Mvera. But I was patient. I never gave up. I never gave up. I knew that there's a reason why I was chosen for this role. There's a reason why this role got to me. And I knew there's a reason for waiting. Yes. Patience is always the virtue. And the waiting really, really paid off. You can see, because even in the waiting, that is where the whole sharpening happened. In fact, I think there's a particular scene in Mvera. I think it was the burdens of the 3 years in waiting. I think that's when I got to, like, really, really let it out. Yes, the pain, the losses. I think that's when I got to let it. So I kept my faith. I kept hope.
Yes.
I kept working on me. And I did more pilots. I just kept doing pilots. Of course, kazi ikitokea, before you're actually sure, you can't turn down work. Because atina ngoja deliver, unaweza ngoja shtuke. Yeah.
Okay, I love that. Now you have been chosen. You're now the main character in Mvera. There is a team that comes with it. Yeah. Tell me about the relationship during that period. Maybe you can tell us how long did you take to act Mvera actually in the film, and how the relationship with the team was.
Oh, I enjoyed working with them. It was my first time in a big production, and so many cameras, there was so many people on set. And something people don't know about me is I'm people shy. Face is just a face.
Yeah.
I'm really, really people shy. And when I'm somewhere I don't know people, I'm always closed.
What?
Yes. I like to call myself an introverted extrovert.
An ambivert.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Mvera, we did Mvera we started shooting it in March. I remember I was crazy, right? I was from my brother's funeral this time, not my grandma. This time I was from my brother's funeral. I missed even the rehearsals because there was like a week of rehearsals. I missed that. So I finished the burial, immediately traveled back, came 2-3 days. We went on set. So when I came back with the mindset of nothing else, no distractions. I have to do this. So I came back. We went to Kwale for the shoot, and I remember my first scene. I was tensed. Nilikuwa nimepanic. And my first scene, Daudi goes like, "Cut, Mvera sikufeel." Hey. And then imagine you're the lead, everybody, because every people don't know you. They want to see, why was this girl chosen, And I'm like, I've waited for this thing for 3 years. When Daudi told me that, nikajita meeting, nikajiambia, woman, get your act together, get your head in the game, bana. You've waited for this, you've prepared for this, you know what to do. I didn't, in all honesty, and I don't know if this is going to sound like a brag, but I hope it doesn't. It didn't take me much to go to flow in Mvera. It didn't, because I felt like I can take off Linah Sandeh and
It's your
put on,
thing.
And there, the crew was amazing. They were so helpful, and they're so friendly. So friendly. The whole cast, even you'd think that you see superstars, celebrities on set, and you'd be so scared of approaching them. You think they're snobbish, but they were so nice, and they didn't treat me like lesser than or anything. I believe I'm a lovable person. I interact with everybody.
You are.
I interact with everybody to each their own capacity, of course. And I love keeping to myself too. When I'm on set, I love keeping to myself. Interaction kidogo, script kwa sana. You do what has brought us here, but it was nice. I built relationships from there. I still have good relationships with most of them. And it was good teamwork. It was really good. It was really nice working under Daudi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here it is. We are acting Vera. Your facial expressions, the things that you like. I remember there was a part that you were dragging yourself down. I want to understand how that scene came to life.
The one I'm crawling down?
Yes.
We woke up, went to the location, changed, and Daudi was like, and then me when I'm on set, I should be dirty. I walk barefoot. Daudi was like, Vera, come. You don't look tired. You should look tired. Run uphill, downhill, uphill, downhill. And where I was crawling, if you see it, I'm crawling uphill. If you see the shot. So ilikuwa ni mlima. So imagine, watu wamekaa wanajienjoy, mimi jogging. Juu, chini, nimechoka bado. Keep going. We need you tired. And then, like I told you, Mimi, when I'm given a character, I want to feel the character's emotions. I crawled on that road. My easy zilikuwa mpaka na bruises. Yeah, zilikuwa na some bruises because I crawled. Your pain, my facial expression, your pain yako nini, it was truly painful. So I told myself, this person udem anarudi home, amepitia shida, and amechoka because ametembea sana. Logically, even me, you'd be crawling down, bana. You are so tired, but you have to go where you're going. So it was also a moment of strength in the story. It had a significance. Yes. in the story. So the emotions were raw and they were so real because I was tired. I felt like enyewe nimetembea.
And most people, like actors, they would love to achieve something after that. What was your end goal to being dedicated to that film? Like, tell us about it. Because for me, I feel like that's too much. Can I really crawl and feel the... No. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my end goal was or is where I am right now, because I've seen what people do. And I feel like most people don't really dedicate to their craft. Because tell me why a scene needs you to be up no meamka, mbona uko bado na some makeup on you. Just go ugly, bana. We don't always look. We don't. It's not all of us who look pretty when we wake up. Just look the way you would look.
Yes.
So I told myself I'm not holding back on anything. If this character needs to fall down, I will fall. You know, of course, kisinema. So it gave me, it made me stand out. It made me stand out. People could actually relate
Yes.
to the character, because that is always my goal. Anything I'm doing, I want people to relate with me. If it's sympathy, I want you to sympathize with me. You know, I want you to be in this person's shoes, because that is why we are doing it, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. So globally, you know, it's nice to, I wanted to stand out. And I still do.
You did. You did. Because look at it like this. There are different films we watch. And the way you've just said, talking about makeup, waking up with makeup on your face. What is the concept behind that? Probably you might not be the right person for me to ask such a question. But again, is it because the film is modern? Or what are they trying to communicate, that you can still wake up and you have makeup on your face?
I think it's crazy. Trust me. I think that's crazy, because let's be realistic. When we wake up, we don't have eyeshadows. We don't have some lip gloss. No, you wake up raw.
Yes.
So for me, even if I aspire to be a director and producer, in my production, if the scene says she just woke up, I need to see you just woke up. Be realistic. And I think it's because most actors are scared to look ugly on camera. I love Viola Davis is my icon. I really love her, because she shows you what it means to be you, to be authentic, and I love authenticity. That's why I really enjoy authentic stories that have raw emotions, deep. You know, emotion yenye mpaka mtu anasema Mungu wangu.
Yeah, when you watch Mvera, huwezi toa macho hapo. Yeah.
Yeah, so we just, most of the actors are scared to look ugly on camera, which shouldn't be the thing. Any job, bana, we know but it's not even ugly. It's wake up face, you're crumbled, you're crying, makamasi is all over. People are scared to do that. That's why they are wana nini. No.
Yeah.
Utaki mnianguke. No, let it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and I want to understand, when the first time you doubted yourself, how do you feel so confident looking like that? Makamasi kimwagika. And at first, even being chosen for the role, you were like, am I good enough for it?
Yeah, that is always, I think that is inferiority. You feel like you are not worth it. You feel like, this can't be for me. But the moment mimi niliamua, when I started shooting, that day was the day one, was the day I told myself, this is truly happening. I felt so emotional. I was like, there's nothing they will tell me to do and sitafanya. What do you want me to do? Nitafanya. I wasn't afraid or shy or nini. When I'm in front of the camera, I'm a different person. Nikiwa job, I am a different person. Different. Uwezi jua I'm shy, I'm nini, I have issues. No, I'm so different. Yeah. So there's always that blend and difference between me, Linah, offset and onset.
Yes. So Linah,
yes,
I want us to talk about money. Linah, I see you every time on Netflix. I've even repeated watching Mvera recently, like a day ago. And then I'm asking myself, is there money still flowing to your account now that, as we've been just talking before you came on set, people meet you in supermarkets and they're like, are you Mvera? You're proudly saying you're Mvera. Good stuff. You're on Netflix. You're on people's screen. But I want to understand, how long does that money still come in your account? And if at all there's a stop to that, what now? How do you go about it?
Well, that's a very, very good question. The thing we are trying to fight as actors and filmmakers in Kenya is the issue of royalties. I believe that is the same discussions we've been having even with KAG, because that's something that we would really, really want it to change. Mvera aside, there's still there are still guys who are still airing my first film. I still meet people till now. I'm not kidding you. Till now, who still see the first film. And you could imagine the frustrations of an actor who is broke and unasikia bado filamu yake inaoneshwa and no royalties, no nothing. It's one-time payoff. Kwanza hata there's some people who don't even pay for those films. So talking about Mvera and money coming in, we don't get royalties.
Tell us, what's the meaning of this royalty?
Royalty is your work, whenever your work is shown, there's an amount of money, that there's a percentage that has to come back in your pocket. Hizi productions za majuu, hizi ukiangalia Friends, ukiangalia kina nani, kina GOT, nini, anywhere the production is sold and the actors get, even if it's 1% royalties, there are people who still get royalties from shows they did way back. That's a different case in Kenya. In Kenya, production pays you a one-time payoff. Like, that's it. No royalties, because when and this is something that most production houses do. When you go to the table, to the negotiation table, you ask like, where is this production going? Umaipeleka wapi? So that you can also know how do you bargain.
Yeah.
But unapata ujui production inaenda wapi. So you given your one time payoff, you good, everything, you good, kila mtu kidogo, you see, iko Showmax, iko Netflix, iko TV gani. And and that's why I would really, really like most actors, all actors if possible, to join the KG. Because sorry about that.
It's okay.
There will be kutakuwa na nafuu kidogo. We really, really want to fight tupate hizo royalties. Unapata msanii alimaliza show kitambo, akalipwa wakati show ilishanga, show inaendelea 3-4 years. Mtu anakuja nadhani huko do. We are surviving by God's grace. Yeah, so people ask me that question a lot. There's even one time I was in an interview, I had to tell the interviewer to stop, because they were like, hey, Netflix inamlipa wachini show zake, Netflix inamlipa. I'm like, yo.
Be considerate.
Before you start saying here on live on air that Netflix is paying me, the money is going in my pocket, don't.
Okay.
No.
So you get no money from Vera right now?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So I guess that's one thing that Kenya Actors Guild, Peter Kawa, the chairman,
tafadhali,
will look into. So in the entire team, be it KFC, be it any team that is involved in that, probably their strategy is being put in place. I have no idea. But again, we hope that things will be better in that angle.
We really do.
Anyway, we'd like to wind up. But before we wind up, I'd love you to tell your fellow actors who are coming up, what are these top things they can really consider to to get themselves to be like a lead actor the way you did, to bring out the best expressions, to be brought up to these top production companies. Yeah.
The first thing I would say is discipline. Discipline is everything. You need to be disciplined as an actor. Make sure discipline is number one. Number two, never stop learning. Wengine hatu kusoma sana, but doesn't mean that you cannot learn on your own. There's so many materials. You don't really have to sit in a class to go to learn about these things. You can learn. There are acting coaches. There's material everywhere. Do research on your character. Usikue mvivu. Hii ni kama exam umepewa. You know, soma, fanya revision, ask, find what works for you, and don't stop showing up.
Yeah.
Don't stop showing up. There's always something tailored for everyone. Don't stop showing up. Yeah, because I'm still not showing up. I've not stopped showing up even after Mvera, because I'm still in Nairobi looking for work, knocking production doors. So akunanga limit to time yati this is now enough. No, never. Don't stop showing up. People get there. I got my first break at 30. So the people who get their Kina Morgan Freeman 40s uko. So don't stop showing up.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We love the film Mvera. We love it. And if there's anyone who hasn't watched Mvera, Aki, you're missing out. Please just go to Netflix. Watch that Mvera. It is the way we are talking to Linah now, the way she brought out the character. Just siwezi hata explain. Mwende to wajione.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm really privileged to have you. And I'm praying for the best on your journey. May it be as big and bigger than Mvera as you move on.
Amen.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Please let us know where we can find you.
My social media handles. On Instagram, you can find me at Linah Sandeh. On Facebook, Linah Sandeh. And TikTok, Linah Sandeh.
Nice. We'll follow you.
Follow me. Na reply DMs pia.
Sawa. So thank you guys for joining me today. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us. My name is Noela Toyoa. I have been your host today. And cheers. Have a good time. Bye.